Alright everybody, we're doing some Tea of the Dub. We're teaching you about skills, how they work, how people will have that decline age, that maturity age, stuff like that. So we're going to go into the database editor real quick, and I'm going to show you what the maturity base, the decline base, all that stuff is real quick. So we're using the
Go to John Cena
Chronicles. Well, no, I have a certain person picked out in particular because I have this save working. So let's look at Kevin Nash real quick. So Kevin Nash is still technically wrestling at the start of the game. He's a semi-active wrestler, which means that he'll probably start going downhill really fast. Of course, you can see the maturity age and decline rate, age. All that is usually set to random. You can set it to a certain age if you really want to. And that basically means, like, from that relevancy age is when they'll be at the peak of their performance. They'll be really kicking butt. Retirement age is when they're like, nope, I'm done. Well, they could still wrestle after that relevancy age. So up until the maturity age, to start there, that is how they gain skills the fastest during that maturity. When they're in that relevancy age, they will be at the top performance for their star quality in terms of allowing them to be pushed forward more as like, this is people we need to hire because they're relevant.
They're at their peak.
They're at the peak, yeah. But they can still wrestle when they go past their decline age. But when they get to that retirement age, that's when they're like, nah, I'm done. And since that's all set to random, it could be, even at like 25 for someone if they have an injury. You know what I mean? Another person
if they have like a spine or something
is Ethan Silver. Sorry not to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
So Ethan Silver starts off relatively young. He's a person that you will see in my database. Like, he's only 18 years old. He debuted at 2012, and it looks like Malum, if you guys know who Malum is, a buddy of ours. And I'm gonna show you in my music for PWG real quick, all that. So the first thing that I'm doing much differently than I normally do when I record is that I have the user preference for Fog of War turned off, because it makes it easier to see the decline and all that stuff in people. So let's look at Kevin Nash, who of course is retired now, and he is a colored commentator, meaning that if we go to now popularity, we already did that video. If we go to track progress, we can see he's gone downhill tremendously. You know what I mean? His skill for brawling used to be 43, now it's 40, and it's only going to keep on going lower. The only thing that really stays the same, though, will be the basics and psychology and stuff like that, because that's all the stuff you kind of retain when you want to be a road agent, stuff like that, and so that's why it's more retained. However, his stats for it do degrade a little bit, but then they can upgrade a little bit also for this stat in particular. But as you see, his selling's gone down, consistency's gone down, much definitely. Rip. So I'll just give a quick look here. Yeah, you can see definitely his charisma's gone down. Even though he is a colored commentator, his stats are declining even on the microphone, stuff like that. So it's definitely something to look into. He can still get respect, though. He can bring his reputation up, stuff like that. So that is something to keep in mind. Alright, now that we're going to take a look at Ethan Silver, who, of course, we talked about the popularity. Of course, he had no popularity at all in the United States. So if we take a look at his skills now, track progress, we can see at being the age of, and keep in mind this database is currently in 2018, so it's a year later.
Damn.
So a year of playing this, it says 5 years, so a year after, would definitely begin to show that at, what, 20 years old, I believe, yep, that he still has a long way to go in terms of hitting that peak performance, the relevancy, and stuff like that.
Of course, unless he suffers that injury.
Yeah, unless he suffers an injury, he's out and he's gone. As you can see here, definitely his hardcore skill it's going up. Even though I haven't really booked him in too many hardcore matches, he's retaining that skill by the people that he works with, because there's a long-lasting truth behind you're usually only as good as the people that you work with and learn from. You know what I mean? So with that, thank you for being the backup here in that. So as you can see, in ring I will say definitely will upgrade much slower in terms of the performance. If you look at the performance from 77 to 88 is much more easily noticed than the 50 to 53 throughout an entire year. But his performance, this is what's really key, is because he's working with a lot of guys who are...
Oh yeah, look at the selling.
Who are really big. Yeah, most definitely. You can really see that the people that he's worked with are really big. And if we look at his match history, we can see that I did send him over to Japan, and he was working with like really great workers there. You can see Mark Haskins there. You can see him working with Kikutaro, Scott Parker, Hoovitude, Jack Evans, stuff like that. So he's definitely Fujita.
His number one match was with T-Hawk.
Yep. So you can definitely see all that. In PWG, him, Young Bucks, stuff like that. How they were much. Excuse me, I don't keep burping in this, but you can see that he's come a long way from 2017 to 2018 being his highlight match. So, in terms of the skills, that's pretty much it, honestly. It's not as complex as what people make it out to be. It's kind of as complex as you want to grasp it to be.
The only time I can really see it being a little more complex is when it comes to people who have like just the less shown, so like only like the letters shown for it, or like entertainment strong, because it doesn't break that down.
Let's see if I can find someone real quick who's kind of old and stats might be decreasing a little bit. So we can look at Cena though for you real quick. If we look at his skills, track progress, we can see that John Cena, being the age of 41, his stats are decreasing, even though he is still fully active to the WWE, still main eventing a year later, as he would in real life, probably. His stats are going downhill. You can see even his all these are kind of going to remain the same. His consistency in selling, he's not selling as much, so there's that. Definitely athletically and power, you can see all that's going down. So he definitely reached that peak of his career, and it's only downhill from here. So I think that'll pretty much do it in terms of the peak performance, the skills and all that for today. If you have any questions, definitely shoot me, one in the comment section, and I'll attend to it. Till then, keep it safe. Adios.
Keep it tight.
It's been me and Alpha Sports Gaming.